Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you turn on TV or open Netflix to watch a movie in English or any other foreign language, and you simply can't understand what actors say without subtitles? So you turn on subtitles and suddenly everything makes sense. You can understand what actors say and you can get the overall meaning of the movie. My question is, why is it so? And how to change it? How to train yourself to be able to understand movies without subtitles? Subtitles may not always be available, and you may also want to train yourself for real-life conversations where there's not even an option to turn on subtitles. Why is it so? The reason number one. The first reason why you don't understand native speakers on TV or in movies is not that you don't know the words that they say, because when you turn on subtitles, you can understand them easily, right? So the real reason can be that you are not used to the natural accent of the language and you are also not used to the speed of the language. Most likely you learned English at school or on some language courses, and probably you could get every single word that your teacher said. So you may feel a bit confused when you watch a movie in a foreign language and suddenly you can't get anything without subtitles. You've been learning this language for so long. It even seemed to you that you are on a good level, and it's pretty frustrating. I get it. But let me tell you that it's actually a very common experience and you shouldn't feel embarrassed about it. The language of language courses or school classes is different than the language used in movies by native speakers. Your teacher on purpose talks slower and more clearly so everybody can understand it. The reason number two. Another reason why you don't understand movies is connected to differences between formal language of your language classes and informal language used in movies or series. During your language classes, you won't hear a lot of slang, simply because it's not appropriate. And slang is something that very often appears in movies to make it sound more realistic. When you watch a movie in a foreign language, you may also come across a lot of idiomatic expressions that are very often used by native speakers and not so commonly used by teachers during classes. The reason number three. The third reason why you are unable to understand movies without subtitles is the gap between your reading skills and listening skills. So, in other words, you are better at reading and worse at listening, and it happens when you practice one skill more and neglect the other. The reason number four. Additional reason why you can't understand movies without subtitles is that there are many additional sounds included to make this movie sound more realistic. For example, wind, a bomb that exploded, washing dishes, or people talking in the background. And when you are not used to watching a lot of movies in a foreign language, at first all the sounds may start mixing up, so you won't be able to even recognize the speech. I gave you all the main reasons why you are unable to understand movies without subtitles. Before we move to the second part, consider subscribing to my channel if you wanna see more of my videos in the future. How to change it? The solution number one. The first thing that I want you to know about is that subtitles are not necessarily a bad thing for improving your listening skills. I know that it might seem to be quite surprising because many people may follow this way of thinking that if you want to understand movies without subtitles, you shouldn't turn on subtitles. But the truth is that subtitles can help you to improve your listening skills, but you need to know how to use them. If you turn on subtitles just to read from them and you don't really pay attention to what actors say, it's pretty ineffective. And this is probably something that you've already experienced. The way you can use subtitles to learn is that you can first watch a movie, series, or even a short scene without subtitles, and you can try to understand as much as you can. Later, you can rewatch this with subtitles and pay attention to the parts that you didn't get at first. Another technique for people who don't really like rewatching the same parts of movies, because I know it may not be as exciting if you know what's gonna happen, is that you can simply turn on subtitles and don't pay attention to them for the most part. And you can just look at them when you don't really get what actors say. But for that you need self-control, because it's very easy to start reading from subtitles again. The solution number 2. Another thing that you can do to understand more from what you hear is to choose materials that are easier than movies. Movies can be actually pretty tricky to understand, because as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of slang, the speed is fast, and also there are a lot of additional sounds. When it comes to my experience, I practiced my listening skills mostly by listening to audiobooks. And I improved a lot in this way, because I believe that there are some advantages to it. First of all, everything that is said on an audiobook is clear and it's not interrupted by any other sound. Another thing is that when you listen to an audiobook, you listen to a foreign language all the time. And when you watch a movie, sometimes there's a lot of space of silence or some action, and you don't really progress during this time. And the funny thing is that there are even some movies created in a way that you don't really have to listen to what people say to get the overall meaning of a movie. So in my opinion, listening to audiobooks works very well if you want to practice your listening skills intensively. If you want to just spend time and relax, and in the meantime learn a foreign language a little bit, then movies are a better option. The solution number 3. Another technique that I use to improve my listening skills is to speed up a video that I usually watch on YouTube, because there is this option. And yes, you heard me correctly. I said speed up, not slow down. But I get your doubts, because at first, if you speed up a video in a foreign language, you probably won't understand anything. But the way it works is that your brain gets used to this fast way of talking, and in this way you teach your brain to process information much faster. So later, when you watch a movie that has a normal speed, you can understand it easily because you already got used to something more challenging. If you have any questions or opinions on what I say, comment down below, because I usually answer most of your comments. So I'm looking forward to a discussion. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and if your another problem is that you can understand English but cannot really speak it, check out the video that is visible on the screen. There I explain a reason for it and give you solutions. So see you there, and thank you for watching.